Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shadow, the United Personality of the Best, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 135, Unity in Chaos. As on brand as that can be, I thought I had everyone together for this one, but I haven't seemed to show up yet. But nevertheless, hello, Country Shape Media. Hello, Julia Goodwin. Hello, John Washburn. LRG Baja Blast. Hello. Got a lot of I actually did bother with the news sheet today. Kind of, sort of. Oh, we got someone. Good. Under the veil, you did make it. Good. Because I thought Thick Black Daddy was going to be here. He told me he was up today, but he hasn't been online all day, and I don't know what happened. I hope he's okay. Anyway. Still got stuff to talk about. Still a lot of stuff going on, thanks to the writer's strike, and not the most in terms of, movie news, except for, there's some trouble with certain celebrities getting some stuff written, and people are like, you're hiring scab writers, aren't you? You got those scabs, you little bastard. Don't you know how strikes work? Don't you understand the concept of a strike? You ain't getting work done until conditions improve. If you're getting work done before then, they're filthy scab. Filthy scab. Filthy scab. Carlito's Way being released on 4K. I did not hear about that, but I am always here for more 4K releases. I love pixels. I've high resolution, feed the light beams into my eye sockets. I am all for that. Oh, starting your son on Phantasm. Oh no. What kind of microphone? I got an Elgato, just because it's simple and high enough quality for general streaming. Like, I'm not. Every time I try and I got some condenser mics and this and that, and every time inevitably everything still ended up sounding like crap. I get the best webcam you can, but it's still, unless you get a DSLR, it ain't really looking any better than a webcam. Unless it's an Elgato. So I've just had much better luck dealing with Elgato stuff, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna get Elgato stuff to deal with the things. It does the job. It's a bit pricier than similar things in their in the same area, but it does the job better than most things in that area. So, and it's not as good as the next step up, but the next step up costs an ass ton more. So yeah. Thought of another movie you should check out. Gremlins. I've heard of Critters. That is one that I have needed to do for a while. It's another one by the Kyoto brothers, the same ones responsible for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So yes, I absolutely need to tackle Critters at some point. Probably very soon. Probably. It's been on the back burner for so long, it's it doesn't matter, it's set to a little simmer. All of the water has boiled off. It's crackling and burning, and there's a little red coals and stuff. It's been on that back burner way too long here. Way too long. Hello, Mr. Jamal 28 from London. Nice. Evening from the UK. Oh, it's evening in the US. It's just not that late. It's 6 p.m. Central. And so it's not near midnight yet. Not yet. It's going to get there. Time and time dilation. Just space-time, it's a thing. That's kind of a big thing right now. There's so much stuff with space on the internet right now. Thank you, Starfield. You could review movies about spiders like Kingdom of Spiders and with William Shatner. I did have an idea of doing a bit more spider movies, but at one point I did Eight-Legged Freaks. And by reviewing Eight-Legged Freaks, I did learn that there is a decent chunk of the population who are, very arachnophobic. You always know that arachnophobia is a thing. You understand it at a baseline, but once you encounter here's a large percentage of people who cannot see that, it is just not an option. That kind of put me back from the idea of ever doing a month-long or summer special involving spiders. That kind of thing. I like my summer specials. I like my month specials. Love the March of the Clowns. Love Dino Samba. Spiders are the kind of thing that they do the one-off review and then continue with other things, because otherwise it's you know how YouTube is. You miss enough videos in a row and they're like, you never want to see this guy again, and that's it. And that's the thing that I've been having to deal with for a bit of time, and I've been working on trying to see about fixing that. And I think cross fingers, knock on wood, things are looking pretty good on the latest review. So I have two phobias and refuse to tell anyone what they are. I definitely got the claustrophobia. Definitely. Do not like being enclosed in the tiny, like, the scariest kill in the entirety of the Jaws series is the one where the camera is inside the shark's mouth, is eating the person. You see them getting like trapped in there and eaten by the shark. Yeah, the effects are ass, but that's just, the concept is just cripplingly terrifying. Well, I mean, like, not everyone has to speak publicly. With death, it's like, well, you're gonna have to get over it sometime. Without death, there would be no life. Except for like the hydras of the ocean. But don't think about them. Don't think about the actually immortal organic beings. They don't count in this discussion. Oh. No, 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 no. No. See, if I feel secure high up, it's not so bad. But if I fear of heights, like I definitely have that to an extent. I see people climbing like crazy things, like and it's like, no, don't you? No. See, I should continue the Puppet Master series. I did one Puppet Master movie, but I could still do the rest as an entire summer. There are so many of them. But I'm not so certain about doing a summer of Puppet Master. There are of course, like, there's like the summer of Child's Play. That's been a request for a while. That's an idea. That's nice, like going from the classic 80s horror into the more modern stuff. And that's always a wonderful path to take in a summer special. I always think it's fun. It's nice. I enjoy it. But yeah, the CGI Resident Evil movie's, not gonna lie, worth a watch. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely cover the rest of Resident Evil at some point. I don't know about like the TV series, is just because I'm not really a TV series kind of guy, and I always feel like I need to watch the whole thing. That's one problem. Speaking of TV series, though, and one that I want to watch the whole thing, the new Gamera thing is on Netflix, and I still don't have it. I got off Netflix years ago, and now I'm here like, well, where the hell am I going to get a Netflix? And it's like, can someone share their password with me? Oh, no, they can't do that anymore. Thank you, Netflix. So there's a new Gamera out right now, and I'm not seeing it. And it's... I need my Gamera. I need my Gamera. I really do. It's supposedly like a really cool, really good Gamera. There's Gamera versus Godzilla in an official little, like, is it a side mobile game, something? Either way, it is actually officially licensed, and there is a existence of a Godzilla versus Gamera, and that's before the new movie from, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but you know the guy who did Gamera for the Truth, and then went on to do Rega and Raigo, and now he's doing a monster mashup with these two monsters that aren't Godzilla or Gamera, but they sure look a lot like them, but not enough to sue. He's doing that movie. Before that one's even out, the Toho was like, okay, fine, let's set Godzilla versus Gamera in this mobile game. Boom, we did it. So it's just a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun there. Oh, Chernobyl. That, like, on the one hand, I'm like, that was a really good series. On the other hand, it is absolutely horrifying considering the as far as based on a true story shows go, there was a hell of a lot more true story to that than most of them. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on a true story. Silence of the Lambs, based on a true story. Psycho, based on a true story. Why do I pick these three examples? They're all based on the same true story. Chernobyl, though, you can't really. It's pretty clear that that's. It's about that stuff that happened, in Chernobyl, like that stuff. Well, Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I've done anime before, like here and there. Or have I only done one anime that in a proper review? The Cowboy Bebop movie. Yeah. Ed Gein. And of course, Depraved was based on a true story. Ed Gein tried to stick to the facts mostly, but still, that one, like we changed a few names. It's like they didn't just change the names; they also changed some things. Like, and his last victim was a hot young thing out of college. No, she wasn't. She was like 50 something. But yeah, still fucked up. Like, still kind of when you're hanging someone upside down, you pulling out the blood and you're taking off the skin. You're like, it's still kind of a fucked up thing to be doing. Doesn't really matter how old they are. Oh, I thought for a second you were like, Decker Shadow was raised by wolves. Like, no. I was in the woods, but I was raised by humans. Just outside a lot. But should be getting on to the first bit of news. Like, I was just trying to find something that had something to do with film at all, because that is kind of the entire basis of the channel that I've built over the last 12 years. With your help, of course. Wouldn't be here if not for all of you. And I am very thankful and grateful every day, honestly. This is a bit of an aside, but like recently going to the grocery store, picking up just what I need, paying over $300, and I'm like, God damn, I am so thankful for every single one of my subscribers, because otherwise, I don't know how I'd be able to afford any of this. Barely afford it right now. But see, I'm very happy about that as well. It pleases me greatly. I hate to just look like a straight normal guy. Ew. Anyway, that's Charlie had sent me to the store to purchase milk. That was specifically it. I got some other things I needed, but nevertheless, the news. A little thing going on in the world of TV show thing. Like that. Speaking of Netflix, there's still that Gears of War movie that they've been working on, and we know that Dave Bautista has said, "Hey guys, you need a Marcus Phoenix? I'd be a great Marcus Phoenix." And recently, Cliff Bleszinski, the guy behind Gears of War, in case you don't know, was asked his thoughts on Dave Bautista being Marcus Phoenix. As Cliff Bleszinski had in the past said, if there was ever a movie, he would hate if a wrestler was, made to hire wrestlers to act as the cog. And is there like, I'm cool with it. I saw his little cosplay picture on his Instagram. He's really into it. It's awesome. That'd be great. Also, just so you know, Netflix never called me, still hasn't called me. I have nothing to do with the Netflix Gears of War stuff. They haven't asked me anything. So, Dave Bautista really wants to be Marcus Phoenix. Cliff Bleszinski is cool with Dave Bautista being Marcus Phoenix. And Netflix is in control, and who the hell knows what they're doing. Oh yeah, I heard the story behind it sounds like it's we need to get there's some details that I'd like going forward, like autopsy reports, all that stuff. But yeah, well, it wasn't the one that I ate. I ate the 2022 one. They just came out with a 2023, and evidently this kid got their hands on it, ate it, and several hours later they were dead. So yeah. There were some rumors going around that they ate like 16 of them or 20, and it was like the number kept increasing every time the story was told. And yeah, that was the thing. They ate one. Someone said they ate like a dozen, and they had nothing to back it up, and then people just ran with that. So that went around the world a bit. So yeah, but evidently they ate one. Ever play old school RuneScape? Actually, no. Like I played EverQuest Class. Well, I got into EverQuest on its third expansion, which is practically EverQuest Classic. That was the one where they upped the graphics, kind of, but like the original UI was still there, and you still started in the original cities, and it defaulted to the original graphics, and it was just there was a lot in old school EQ that has since long died. But yeah, that's just kind of how that go. But yeah, I do have a poll. But it has nothing to do with the Gears of War Netflix series, because if you remember, we did bring up the Gears of War Netflix series on a previous episode of Live and Wired. Hello, Purple Dragon 19. We did come up with we did discuss the Gears of War series on a previous Live and Wired, and had a little guess of like who to play what. And so I wanted to, I figured, let's do a poll, a Live and Wired poll about something else entirely. Do a poll, but it doesn't have anything to do with the first piece of news we're talking about. So a bit too much. I have completed the main quest. Somehow took me like 60 hours, but yeah, that's a Bethesda game for you. My second one, I actually chose to omit the main quest, and I kind of regret that, because now it's just the boring stuff, and I'm like, well, I'll just do the main quest again next time. But I mean, I could just go off and do other things, which I think I'm going to, because I'd like to do something other than just do the checklist. Like, got that one, went there, got that one, went there, got that one. I was like, nah, I'm not enjoying that so much. I'll engage with it in a way that I'm going to find fulfilling for a while. There we go. Then I can continue on and do that stuff. But like I was saying, not Twitter poll. We do the poll on the YouTube community page now. Right, the Live and Wired poll. Got one for you today. We just finished the summer of Milla Jovovich, and I was thinking, hey, let's ask y'all, which summer out of these was your favorite? Because remember, the YouTube polls can only be up to 5 choices, and I've done 12. So, or have I done 11? No, I've done 12. This is the 12th. So I can only do 5. There's 7 summers that I could not list. There are 7 other summers that I just did not put on the list. So, which summer out of these is your favorite? We have the summer of Milla Jovovich. Is the latest the greatest? I don't think so, but it was still fun. It's not my highest, but I did enjoy it. Summer of Leprechaun last year. That was still pretty banging. Got Summer of Freddy vs. Jason. That was a big one that still kind of stands up and holds up, I'd say. And we got the Summer of Saw. Classic. Got into a lot of trouble with YouTube on that summer. And the Summer of Halloween. Why not? So we got that on the YouTube channel page. right now, and I shall be sharing the link out in the comments momentarily. And there we are. For any of you who don't have access to the comments and are just really good with your keyboards, you can check it out right there. Been ages since I heard of Jackie Chan. I did the summer of Jackie Chan. I mentioned the summer of Jackie Chan in no, I just mentioned one of the movies that I reviewed in the summer of Jackie Chan, City Hunter. That was a fun one. Summer of Jackie Chan was a lot of fun, but also it was one that was a bit bittersweet because I enjoyed it, but YouTube didn't like it very much. Number one, half of the videos YouTube was like, this filthy Jackie Chan motherfucker. You must be breaking community guidelines here or there with this Jackie Chan guy. And like half of the videos were getting demonetized, and I was having a fight constantly with YouTube over the summer of Jackie Chan, which was ridiculous. But then on top of that, I've built a lot of my brand around horror. And so a lot of you are more interested in horror. So not everyone was really super interested in an entire summer of Jackie Chan. And so the algorithm was not liking that, and things were going kind of bad from there. And it was like, it was the summer of Jackie Chan. I really liked movies. I liked digging into them. But the YouTube stuff was just a headache at that point, which was a shame. But, you take the good with the bad. So, do a summer of John Carpenter. I've done plenty of John Carpenter movies. Oh, the summer of Sylvester Stallone. That was fun. That was a while back, but there were a lot of great Sylvester Stallone movies. A lot of fun ones. I haven't I haven't caught up to like the latest of the Creed series, continuing on from the Rocky series. Which does remind me a bit, actually, in terms of with the whole thing with Godzilla versus Gamera coming up. Because now there's more, like, with the new Gamera series and the Godzilla versus Gamera in the mobile game, there's the question coming up again of Godzilla versus Gamera. Who wins? And usually whenever you see this posed, this put forward, it's kind of a popularity contest, of course. It's like the Godzilla versus Gamera death battle, Godzilla wins because he's more popular. And yeah, it's no question to me that Godzilla is clearly more popular than Gamera. But the thing is that always bothers me with that is that, yeah, Godzilla, big. Godzilla, strong. He's got some really kick-ass attacks that are arguably much stronger than Gamera's. But that's not Gamera's greatest strength. And the way it was presented in Death Battle really annoyed me because it tried to take Gamera's strength and turn it into a weakness. Where they were just like, well, you see, Godzilla, the big G, he's just effectively unbeatable. And that's Gamera, he loses a lot. It's just what he does. He's a loser. It's like, yeah, he comes back from it. Gamera is Rocky. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep coming. That's Gamera. That's the point. He gets knocked down, but he gets up again. You're never going to keep him down. He gets knocked down, but he gets up again. You're never going to keep him down. So it's just the death battle. It's like, okay, Godzilla blows Gamera up, the end. It's like, no. Then what happens? Don't tell me that Gamera is dead. No, I don't care that his upper torso is no longer there. It's going to come back in energy, and he's going to go Super Saiyan Turtle Kaiju and start just going nutsos in the buttsos. And then he'll have to, like, go into super hibernation for another 10 years or so after to recover from that kind of shit. But he's going to, like, Gamera doesn't really die. That's the point. Gamera doesn't do that. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, he has to, like, pull out a lot of new special moves every single freaking move. That's the other thing. I want to see the new Gamera Netflix series with. I want to know, like, I'm seeing, like, okay, he's going to come back, he's going to grow up, he's going to have a thing, he's going to fight him, he's going to go a little bit of the thing, going to come back, he's going to beat his ass down hard, you're going to think he's dead, but then he's not going to be dead, because he's going to come back, and he's going to be fighting, and it's going to be closer, but he's still going to get his ass kicked a bit, but then he's going to come out with his new ability that Gamera always has a new fucking ability every fucking time he comes out, and shaboom! And that's going to win the day, and I want to see it, and I can't because I don't have Netflix. And I'm not willing to subscribe just for Gamera. Maybe I am. I don't know. Man, I want to see the new Gamera so bad. Oh yeah, Gamera is living sequel bait, if you put it that way, I guess. They dropped a nuke on a city Gamera was in, and it nearly killed him. They dropped a black hole on Godzilla, and he wasn't impressed. I mean, you got... But nearly killed. It's not... Oh, yeah. No. Gamera is dying sequel based. Dang it. Death Battle of Goku versus Superman is when I quit even attempting to watch them. You can tell I have a favorite going in. Yeah. See, I can't remember, but I did watch that one. I did watch, but it's been so long, and it's just kind of some. But yeah, I do remember them dropping a black hole on it. I don't know. It's the kaiju scientist, the scientist in the kaiju movie. They can do anything as long as there's enough techno babble explaining it. Like it's they got like a titanium quantum like super laser or something. I don't know. Oh. What was my favorite Godzilla movie? Probably still Godzilla Final Wars, just because it is so much. It is so much fan service the whole way. Just kaiju fan service. So many kaiju, so much fighting. And the humans run around and fight kaiju as well, and that kind of reminds me personally of my favorite video game series, Earth Defense Force, which is it's a giant monster tokusatsu flick made video game where you play as a little guy and you got to deal with the big stuff. Call a kitchen sink movie. Well, I haven't asked. I don't know what their schedule is and what they're working on next. I've been very busy with doing a lot of things myself, and I've been concentrating on trying to get my own stuff together before worrying about doing crossovers, branching out, doing this, all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, a mouth, bipedal. They seem to have their own language, just like humans. Almost identical to humans. Gamera Rebirth, that's the one I'm saying that I need to see. I don't have Netflix, and it's... Maybe I should get it, because if I get Netflix, then I'll just, like, see if I can use my stuff to extract that. So in case they happen to decide to just drop it from the service and never release a physical version, I'll still have something to fall back on. Oh yeah. We still have that scheduled crossover with Under the Veil. Oh, the Unity Engine controversy. Oh, thank you for reminding me, because that was another bit of the news I wanted to talk about, hence the title card for this episode. There's a new license model that has been put forth by Unity, and it is one of the most ridiculous, predatory, cannibalistic license models you could possibly imagine, where they introduce the big like catalyst that a lot of people are pointing to is the introduction of a per install fee. Now, what is the per install fee? The per install fee is 20 cents, which, if you are making stuff in Unity as an indie developer, and like say Vampire Survivors, that game's like what, $5 if that? You get it 20 cents on a sale. Well, say I install it on my computer. Well, that's 20 cents that they owe Unity now. And then I install it on my Steam Deck. It's still me. It's still my copy. I paid them once, and I'm installing it again here on my Steam Deck. Well, they owe them another 20 cents. Well, say I decide to delete it and then reinstall it later on Steam Deck because I had another game that needed some space, and I've freed up the space, but then I put it back because it's Vampire Survivors. Well, that's another 20 cents they owe them. Say my computer does that thing that it likes to do with my Adobe every now and again, and it just forgets that this is the same computer. And it's like, oh, this must be a new device that you're installing this thing on. That's another 20 cents. And it's like $50 every install. No, it's 20 cents per install. But like that does add up quite a lot. And it's also an interesting case because it's like the CEO, the guy that made this decision, also dumped a bunch of his own stock in the company shortly before the announcement. So the guy that made the decision obviously knew that it wasn't going to go over well and participated in insider trading, which is, put it simply, fucking illegal. So if you are a developer using Unity, you're either going to have to stop using Unity or probably start charging more for your stuff. And it's like you can bet that like anyone making their games on Unity is absolutely not going to want any of their games to be backwards compatible with systems going forward. What kind of nightmare would that be? A new system comes out, 100,000 of your most loyal fans re-download your game again, and oh, look at that. Now you owe these guys like $20,000. Is like, oh wait, a million of your fans do that. Oh, you owe them $200,000. I think that Unity is like a Titanic, and the Abyss is a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. So, sell $1 million. That's a quarter of your income in install fees going off the top. Yep. And of course, you got to take into account taxes and such sort of thing. And it's just the per install thing is license fee is just kind of it's amazing because it makes Epic with the Unreal licensing structure look considerably less predatory. And there's just so much going on with the whole Unity thing where like so many developers are just like, what the hell are we going to do? And there's like no coming back from this, like at all. Even if right now the CEO is out there saying, sorry guys, my bad, we're not going to do that, and we're never going to do that. There's still going to be the problem of trust. Anyone getting into game development right now is absolutely not going to go in for Unity, and anyone currently using Unity is looking for a way out. There's no fixing this. Best bet is to just really suddenly get a new CEO who makes the licensing deal so much better than what it already was for guys. Like, then it's like, okay, make a veneer of things, okay, but still, even then, it's going to be, there's always going to be the question is like, well, will they come by one day and say, actually, everything you've spent years working on, we're just gonna monetize you so hard you can't freaking survive. I've been trying to backtrack after the backlash, but the damage has already been done. Yeah, I saw some posts by them trying not necessarily to backtrack from it, but trying to explain that it's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It's like, look, yeah, there is going to be a per install fee, and yes, it's going to be a lot, but it's only going to affect those guys that have made at least $200,000 anyway. So most of you guys. You guys dicking around in your garage with nothing, you're not going to have to worry about anything. We're still not getting anything from you. Aren't we so great? It's just, if you're successful, you're suddenly going to be broke again because we're going to be taking all your money. Fine, no problem. It is like, oh, God. I'm playing the new Mortal Kombat until the 20th when Cyberpunk 2.0 update comes out. Okay, nice. Still have to see it, actually. Still have to see it. In the game industry, there's no such thing as a firm no or on bad practices, just a not right now. It's like, oh, we try to do good by our consumers, and we missed the mark. We're sorry. We always strive to do the best we can and be loved. For we are benevolent and care about puppies. But it seems we've missed the mark on our attempts to do good. We accidentally ran Grandma over. Thought she was a burglar. It was Grandma. I have not played the new Mortal Kombat, I'm afraid. I've been a little too deep in the Starfield, which is another bit of the Unity that's in shambles. Now, just to put it simply, to not be too spoilerific, Unity is a bit of a concept in Starfield. It's a bit of an important concept. So, the word still fits. That's the point. But, yeah, Starfield is, like, doing really good. And if you're on Twitter too much like me, then you know that everyone's yelling and screaming about it. And like, there's a thing with GameSpot for like 3 days straight. Just kept tweeting several times a day. We gave Starfield a 6 or 7 or whatever the hell they gave it. Just like, yeah, look at us, guys. We said Starfield was meh. We did. It's like, it's great. Shut the fuck up. But yeah. Remember when Horse Armor caused an outrage over monetization? Look how far we have come. Oh, indeed. Space game where you play as a space gremlin. Well, you practically can in Starfield. I suppose that's not much of a space game. That's a game that's in space, technically, but it's not really a space game. Like Fallout 4 in space, pretty well. Yeah, that's a good description. I've enjoyed it, but there are times when the AI just is like I'm running in with a double barrel shotgun, blasting pirates in this abandoned facility. Gotta kick the door in, throwing grenades, and just and I get into the back, and there's just like this little med bay area, and it's just the pirate just sitting there at the desk, and I just walk up behind him as loud as possible, point the gun at his head, and he's just there like he's looking at me at this time. And he just kind of slowly does that Bethesda thing where he's got to get out of the chair. He gets turns and starts getting slowly, and he starts looking at me. And I'm just pointing at his face the whole time. And he gets up, poof! It is he goes back down on the chair. You know, it's just those Bethesda moments. Oh yeah. I've had Barrett have to go now. His planet needs him. At the lodge once before. By Fallout 5, I mean Fallout 4. I predict something predictable. Well, the sacrifices devs make for realistic animations. So it's still Oblivion, but with kind of, yeah. It just works. It just works. It just works. I'm still having a blast with it. It's a Bethesda RPG. You like Bethesda RPGs? You're probably gonna like Starfield. It's still. I can see plenty of mods fixing a lot of problems with it, but 16 times the planets. Yeah, there's still some like really impressive stuff going on there, but there's so much streamlining that a lot of it seems more like smoke and mirrors than it actually is. Like the topography of the planets is actually like there, and if you land close enough to another spot and look into where the other spot was, you can see the topography the same. If you land close enough to a city but not in the same cell as the city, you can see the city in the distance. But it's so hard to do that because you just like picking pixels off the planetary map. And if you there were people who were initially trying to see if they could see the same topography, see the city in the distance, and they're picking like what they think is like the next cell over or something, and they can't see that in the distance, and they're like, oh, it's all just totally random bullshit. It's nothing. It's all fake. But the problem was what they had picked was effectively like a state away. So it's like if I go to Louisiana and then I look and I'm like, I can't see Houston. It's all fake. Earth. So yeah, it's a hell of a large damn bunch of planets. But there's still like a lot of it is effectively empty procedural stuff. There's only so much handcrafted content kicking around here and there. And so while it is the same topography for everyone in the same exact spot on the planet, and the specific points of interest are randomized, it's still kind of masterpiecey to me. It's like I said, the AI can still leave a lot to be desired, and there are still some aspects that are more smoke and mirrorsy, and things that's been streamlined so much that even things that aren't smoke and mirrors seem like smoke and mirrors. It's still just got so damn much going on all the time. It's like, really take a step back and look at it like, wow, goddamn. Oh, that reminds me. I went to the moon, like one moon, and my boost pack is like really good, and I also have maxed out boost pack skill, and I was able to effectively fly because my boost recovered faster than I fell. And I wanted to see how high I could go, and I eventually, after a few minutes, gave up because it was taking too long. I still was going up, but I found out that if you go up high enough, the skybox has a curve to it, and it gives the illusion that the horizon starts to you can see the curvature. It's much more than it would actually be at that height, but is an interesting little effect, accidental, but it's kind of an accidental effect that you'd have to be an asshole like me in order to get into a situation where you would even notice it. And it's just it was an interesting. It's not a bug; it's a feature. Summer of Stephen King. I haven't played enough Baldur's Gate 3 to make that assessment. I was really impressed with what I saw so far, and I do like me some tabletop D&D and some turn-based tactical RPG, CRPG gameplay. But I have not put enough time into Baldur's Gate 3, where Starfield just kicks that dopamine where I'm just like, shooty face. So, Summer of Stephen King movies. I got enough of them. I really do. But if we bring up the Stephen King drinking game, then I'm going to be Summer of liver failure. Also, note on the news in terms of the acquisition that never ends. Guess what? It's still going on. The stuff with the CMA, they seem to be dicking around and trying to just kick the can down the road and see if that'll cause problems, and it'll eventually, like, the deal will fall through. It seems to be what they be doing. The EU mentioned that they would need to possibly investigate the deal because Microsoft changed some things around trying to appeal to the CMA. And then after like a little bit, they recently came out and they were like, actually, no, we don't. It's fine still. We don't have to investigate none of this. It's okay. Go ahead. Let it go. So, yeah. Yeah. Quite possibly. It could, if the CMA holds out trying to dick things around, Microsoft could be forced to just close over the CMA and then just take them to appeals court, which the CMA would lose because their position is ridiculous. Microsoft already slapped around the FTC, which is also still, the FTC is still, it's funny because the FTC was so completely just asses blown out in court, but they're still trying. Like there's the FTC is trying to go through the appeals situation thing, and like we're gonna force this through. We're gonna get them to turn around and say, actually, no, fuck you, Microsoft. We swear we're gonna get this. It's like they were doing so bad with this case that they asked for more funding and got their funding slashed because everyone else was saying that they're just wasting taxpayer money on just chasing things that are obviously going to fail, like trying to stop the Microsoft Activision Blizzard King acquisition. So, and they're still going at it. It's like politics, eh? Politics, man. I swear. Whew. Yeah, Microsoft, they're going with that $70 billion, and that's a big thing. They want King a lot. Like a lot of people focus on Call of Duty. The CMA focuses on Call of Duty. Call of Duty doesn't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things to Microsoft. It's a nice bonus, but they don't care so much as they do about King, the mobile games, the mobile market they want to build. That's the prize they got their eye on. They don't give a shit in comparison about Call of Duty. Thank you, War Hippie. That's an interesting moniker, I must say. The season of doctor's appointments? Oh no. There's still 2 Blockbusters open in Portland, Oregon and Anchorage, Alaska. I did not know that. Yeah, I recently downloaded the Call of Duty that was a PlayStation Plus monthly game, and I was like, well, we'll see. I'll see. It's been a long time since I fired up a Call of Duty to see how things have evolved, and I was like, wow, they haven't. Everything's a lot shinier, but it still plays exactly the same. Which on the one hand, it's like, yeah, it's Call of Duty. You expect it to play like Call of Duty, but what I mean by exactly the same is like it's completely interchangeable with like Call of Duty 2, the launch title on Xbox 360. It felt like exactly the same to me. And like EDF, my favorite game series, that does not change very much between entries. But it does change. There are a lot of things that get shifted around, tweaked here and there. And like one thing is that EDF 6 evidently has iframes in rolling, which is like a first. It's like, thank freaking God. EDF, Earth Defense Force. The best. Forget COD. It's all about EDF with me. It's all about EDF. Call of Duty has lost its identity since they brought SBMM and the Sentinel playstyle. It got wrecked, not fun anymore. Well, I didn't really play online. I'm a campaign guy. Like, I did play online a little here and there, but I don't know. I go through the campaign. I'm a single player kind of guy. That's when like Titanfall was being announced, and it's like, this is a multiplayer only game. I'm like, well, fuck me then. It's Quake 3 Arena. We got rid of that pesky single player game, and now it's just the multiplayer. I'm like, oh great, fuck me then. A Summer of David Lynch. Perhaps. Oh, we should be talking about the results of the poll. So we had that poll. Which summer out of these options was your favorite? Okay, so we got a pretty clear winner, but nothing really went too low out of these options. 9% tied for last place. So would you say that's tied for fourth or tied for fifth? The fourth and fifth tie is the Summer of Leprechaun and the Summer of Halloween. Interesting, because I really liked the Summer of Leprechaun. And the Summer of Halloween did go some places. It did, indeedy do. 10% goes to number 3 with the Summer of Saw. 13% went to the Summer of Milla Jovovich. So at a whopping 59% at number 1 is the Summer of Freddy versus Jason. Summer of Bruce Willis. I didn't do a Summer of Bruce Willis, did I? I don't think so. I think I did enough. I did a bunch of Bruce Willis movies, but I don't think I ever did a Summer of Bruce Willis. But yeah. Eventually, after the first entry, it started the Millennium, PS2. Wait, what was it? I missed something. Oh yeah. But yeah, Earth Defense Force 6 is currently out in Japan, and it is not available in English in America or in Europe. The original Earth Defense Force did get a European release as Monster Attack. That one didn't come out in America. But the original Earth Defense Force was released in Europe as Monster Attack, and Earth Defense Force 2 was released in Europe as Global Defense Force. But I don't believe either of them actually got their stories translated. The stories are played over the radio as you play the levels. And I do believe that both of them, the stories were just completely muted. So, my first Earth Defense Force was the same Earth Defense Force that was the first of many Earth Defense Force fans of America, that being Earth Defense Force 3, the first one to actually come out in America under the name Earth Defense Force 2017. And beyond that, Earth Defense Force 2025 was Earth Defense Force 4, and then Earth Defense Force 5 eventually came out under the name Earth Defense Force 5. Though Earth Defense Force 2025 was also re-released for the PlayStation 4 and PC as Earth Defense Force 4.1. That release also was not released on Xbox One, while Earth Defense Force 2025 was released on Xbox 360, and Earth Defense Force 2017 was actually an Xbox 360 exclusive even in Japan. Interesting story about this. You see, Earth Defense Force 1 and 2, those were part of the Simple 2000 series of budget games. Guys at Sandlot and D3 Publisher, they're like, hey, we got these cheap-ass engines with these cheap-ass assets. We could throw some stuff together and make a game out of it. And one of the games they made was Earth Defense Force. And it was so fantastic, they actually made a sequel still within the Simple 2000 series, which is something they generally didn't do. Those are usually one-off things. So then the PlayStation 3's coming around, and they're like, hey guys, Sony, buddies, we made these first 2 games on your PlayStation 2. We'd really like to make a third one. It's going to be awesome. And Sony looked at them and said, you take your shit off my system. This is the PlayStation 3. We are better than that. None of your low-budget trash on my high-end HD system. And this happened to be around the same time that Microsoft was like, guys, please pay attention to us in Japan. Someone, please. We have money. We have lots of... Microsoft's got money. Please, some Japanese developer release something for this thing. And so Sandlot was there like, so you got money and you want something Japanese. It just has to be Japanese, right? Just got to be Japanese. Yes, please. The more Japanese, the better. Make it Japanese. We love Japanese. But Japanese gets money. How about Earth Defense Force 3? Okay, cool. Earth Defense Force 3. We could do that. And we can release that in America too, right? Yeah, because we like Japanese games in America. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So Earth Defense Force 3 became a Xbox 360 exclusive. And then after that did really well, and it also did really well, and it actually did, it was like the only game on Xbox that did good in Japan. After that, Sony was like, fine, get your ass back here. And so that's the story of Earth Defense Force. But you see, I run into the problem that I still can't play Earth Defense Force 6 because I don't speak Japanese. Yet! Yes, I am working on learning Japanese. I decided, fuck it, I have spent too much of my life like wishing that I had learned Japanese. I don't care that I'm 40 years old now and it's going to be harder now. I'm going to learn Japanese. Probably EDF 6 is going to come out before I finish learning, but what about EDF 7? I'll have to wait a year plus to play EDF 7? Will I? Or I could just know Japanese and play my game. Oh yeah. Now, I'm not just using Genki. I've also been using Nountown on my Quest 2. There's a desktop version of Nountown coming very soon. The demo is free to download on Steam. That's made with Unity, though, so I don't know exactly how things are going to look for that come January. It's very much a constant vowel pattern language, so it's easier to pick up on speaking than written form, if I remember correctly. In general, yes. But there's... see you not JPEG. There's still a lot of consonants that seem to like to pop up. And I'm still learning things like, okay, so you spell it ha, but you pronounce it wa. Unless you pronounce it ha, in which case you pronounce it ha. Got it. Like, it's got some interesting stuff to it. But also beyond like Nountown, which is good for vocabulary building. There's like, you can learn over 600 words pretty well with a repetition game and such. So I got Genki, which is Genki Book 1, which is supposed to be enough to teach you enough to pass the JLPT N5 test, like the lowest level of certified I can speak Japanese. Yes, you can be certified to be able to speak Japanese. You pass the test, you're certified, you are a badge-wearing Japanese speaker. So Genki Book 1 is supposed to be good enough for JLPT N5, the lowest level. So that plus Nountown to help with vocabulary, which has already had some good crossover bonuses there. And important when it comes to learning writing, I've been using Kanji Study. As you see, I've been using it for almost 3 weeks. So it took me about a week to get down the hiragana and katakana to the point where I was actually acing the test. But I still take the test like every morning, every evening to try and really reinforce it. My reading is getting faster, but still not so great. So it's like meno what's that kanji? This the reading study is specifically to the reading study is specifically to teach you the kanji. The main purpose of kanji study is to study kanji. And also, one thing I really like about kanji study is that the base version of it, the free demo-ish, is the first 80 kanji. You just study them at your heart's content. I have like how much reading? 1,028 exercises for reading level 1. But that's just part of the free package. The entire katakana and hiragana, the elementary 1 kanji, 80 kanji there to study at your heart's content, and the radicals, which is like 250 of those you could just study away. And yeah, that's all without paying anything, no ads, perfectly clean interface. I really like kanji study. Really like it. I had a friend that moved to Japan to teach English to Japanese kids. He told me they don't pay him well and did stuff that would be illegal in the US. Yeah. Being a English language teacher in Japan is kind of a trap. There's a lot of people who are trying to get into it. They don't have very high standards because they're not necessarily trying to get you to teach. You're almost a sideshow attraction. You're the English speaker to speak English to kids and try and get them to practice English with you-ish. It's not really important. No one's expecting these kids to know how to speak English well. So you're kind of like a minimum wage employee who's paid to chat in English to kids for a few hours a day, but you still get paid ass. And it's like difficult. It's difficult to work. Fortunately, depending on where you live and what you do in Japan, you can still get by with very little money. But yeah, it's not fantastic. It's not fantastic. Thank you, Dufin Schmiga. I don't know if that was one of those nice animated stickers that they sadly don't show up for me in StreamYard. But yeah. Yeah, it's better to get minimum wage than to work in a sweatshop that injures you from the inside out. I will agree with that. I do not really understand. I don't speak Spanish. Way back when I was like in my late teens, I was starting to try. I was trying to begin learning Japanese. I wanted to learn Japanese back then, and unfortunately, I just received a whole lot of pushback from everyone around me that I worked with and everything. There was like, you're an idiot for wanting to learn Japanese. It's never going to be a thing that matters whatsoever. You should learn Spanish. Most people in the world speak Spanish. Learn Spanish, and you will be way ahead in that regard. And unfortunately, the only thing that managed to do was discourage me enough to just stop putting in the time and effort to learn Japanese. I didn't learn anything. And in the years since, I have never encountered a single time where I was like, man, I really wish I knew Spanish. I also have gone to Japan, and it would have been really helpful if I knew a lick of the language at the time. The only thing I knew that came in incredibly handy was that I could look everyone in the eye and be like, wakarimasen. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. Well, I also knew jitensha, but that really wasn't helpful. Wakarimasen was helpful. I knew denwa bango wa nanben desu ka, but it wouldn't matter anyway because I wouldn't understand them. Well, I guess I knew most of the numbers. Yeah, those numbers I'd know enough to be able to write them down. Okay. So I guess I could have been like, denwa bango wa nanben desu ka? And they're like, oh, arigato. And just kind of work around with that. Decker walking around Tokyo like, si, senor. Okay. Let's see, my whole thing is just keep at it. Put in the hours every day. That's what I've been doing. I've been putting in like at least 3 hours every day into Japanese. I'm 3 weeks in and I know way more than I did starting this. And I just like it's feeling like things are slowing down, but it's just like when you learn 5 new words and you already know 350. That feels like less than when we learned 5 new words when you knew 20. So you're still growing. You're still keeping it going. You just gotta don't let feeling like there's a plateau discourage you. Don't let anything discourage you. Keep at it. Mornings and nights. That's my strategy. So I like get the information, re-up the information, remember the information. Boom, 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 boom. I'm actually able to read hiragana now, mostly. Like I still am slow, and if you put enough short, like modifying letters in a row, then that'll trip me up, and I'll be like, but other than that, just remember, just got to keep it up. Oh. Ni nichi goto ni. Once your brain understands the pattern, it's easy to reinforce a simple system attached to it. Yeah, Deska is a lot easier for me to read once I figured out what the combination was. As you get Deska, Des, and the wa particle being wa, even though it looks like ha. But yeah, it's getting a bit late here. I gotta take care of my dog, Charlie there, playing Lies of P, enjoying herself. And unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with Thick Black Daddy. I hope he is all right. But I have a lot to do. I gotta get on my Genki and work on that. My Genki only arrived like a few days ago. So I'm going to start on lesson 2 now. Lesson 1 was a lot of the stuff that I already was reinforcing through Noun Town and kanji study. So I was kind of blasting through that as like, okay, here's the numbers. Count that, say this, that. I got the Genki lesson book and I got the Genki workbook, so I can like Yamashita Sensei wa. Yamashita Sensei wa. How old? How old? The word for how old was Yamashita Sensei wa nansai? 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 Is it nansai or nansei? Dang it. Well, that's like I say, I got to work on it. But thank you all for watching. I have been Dark Shadow. And remember, you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it over and over and over again until it's done. It's going to take some effort.